welcome to another edition of Coffee and Beats. Welcome back in the cafe. Welcome. I gotta stop hitting my mic, right? Right. Welcome to the cafe. Welcome to Coffee and Beats. I'm your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent, and I'm back with another episode, another full episode of album reviews, some album suggestions, and I also got a new segment on the way for all of you. So before I get all into that, let's just cut to the chase right now. I keep reminding you guys,
and some of y'all ain't doing it.
Hit the subscribe button, hit the like, hit the bell for notifications, get the YouTube channel some love in the chat, hit those links down below, follow all my platforms, Instagram, Spotify, all of that stuff. Apple Podcast. Now, I did mention earlier that we were going to be doing a new segment. This segment is dedicated to artists you might or might not know about, and that's going to be towards the end of the show. So keep watching to see some of the artists that I'm going to recommend, and it's a segment called Coffee Vibes Only. All right, this is music that you can just chill to, relax to, drink a nice cup of coffee to, just lay back, enjoy, look these artists up, support their music on all their platforms. Let's get into these reviews. Let's get into these album reviews, because I can't wait to talk about a couple of these albums. The first album that is up to bat is Jessie Ware's new album, That Feels Good. This is her 5th studio album from the English singer-songwriter, and I'm really excited to review this album. This album has 10 tracks clocking in at around roughly 40 minutes, and I've been a Jessie Ware fan for quite some time. I will go back in the time machine to 2011 when Disclosure dropped their new debut album, and also Subtract dropped his new debut album, and she featured on both of those albums, and she really had some good contributions to both of those albums. It really allowed me to get to know her as an artist personally when she came out with her 2012 project Devotion. And when I listened to Devotion, it was just an amazing R&B album. She started off going on the R&B route. After that, she came out with Tough Love and Glass House, which were decent releases, really good releases. But then in 2020, she dropped What's Your Pleasure, and that was one of my favorite albums from that year. Coffee and Beats wasn't out yet, but I'm pretty sure if I were to do a top 25 albums of 2020, that album would have landed on my top 25 list. 3 years later, dropping her 5th studio album, I must say I really enjoyed it. She picked up right where she left off with What's Your Pleasure. What's Your Pleasure had more of a 70s disco type feel to it. Donna Summers comes to mind. This particular project right here, I think she goes in that direction, but beyond. The title track, That Feels Good, is an excellent opener to the album. Kylie Minogue supplies some assistance on that track. It gets things off to a very upbeat start. Now, one of my highlights from the album is the song Pearls, and it just gives me this CC Peniston / Daft Punk collaboration type feel to it, with her high-pitched vocals during the chorus. It was just an explosive track. The song really just jumps out of your phone when you're listening to it, or rather it's on your phone or in your car, even in moments where she slows it down on songs like Begin Again, right? From the very start of this song, there's an introduction that really puts me in the mind of a song or a theme song from a 70s sitcom where a woman's just walking down the street with her suit on and she's on her way to work. Mary Tyler Moore comes to mind, right? When you think of that. And then after that, she just hits you with this smooth, elegant performance with great vocals on the background. Then you have the track, which sounds so impressive. Again, CC Peniston comes to mind when I think of a song like this. It's just really fast paced. It gets you on the dance floor immediately. Just something that sonically sounds so good. Jessie Ware's projects from album to album. When you listen to Devotion, she had more of a softer delivery. When you go from that to Tough Love, you see her vocal performance start to improve. Glass House, it improves. But then What's Your Pleasure, she just blows it out the water. And in this one, again, she outdoes herself once again with great vocal performances all throughout. Shake the Bottle gives me early 80s vibes, and she sticks the landing very smooth with the track These Lips, which presents us with a very dance lounge like ending. Kind of puts me in the mind of a Cascade track or a Blue Six track. The track gives me also Samantha James vibes as well. The production is very mid-tempo on there, and it's very well polished. Overall, I find very, very little flaws on this album. Jessie Ware has done it again. She's come through with a dynamic project, and I'm definitely think this is going to end up on my end of the year list. At the end of the day, I give this one a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this project. Jessie Ware, if you're out there, if you're listening to this show, please keep it coming. You never disappoint. You remain one of the most consistent artists coming out of the UK that's given us hit record after hit record after hit record. Shout out to Jessie Ware for another solid performance. Up next, we got Grammy nominated singer, songwriter, producer, Baby Rose with her second album, Through and Through. And I must say, I am very, very impressed with this artist. I found out about her when she came out with her 2020 release, To Myself, and she also came out with a deluxe version of that album as well. What really captured my attention with this particular artist is her voice. You ever heard the thing, the voice doesn't fit the body, right? You look at her, she walks into the room and you're thinking she's gonna sound like the typical R&B artist, right? And then she gets to singing, and the first thoughts come to mind as someone like Nina Simone. If you haven't listened to her Colors performance, feel free to do so. She did an excellent job on that. And she also has a couple of performances on YouTube that you can check out. You can see from those performances that she sounded just so amazing. When you listen to Baby Rose sing, you feel the emotions, the honesty in her vocals. It almost sounds like she's actually in the story that she's telling and singing it while going through whatever she's going through, whether it's in an abusive relationship, growing up in a troubled household, anything that she's talking about, you can feel the emotions. Now, there are some upbeat moments in the project, songs like I Won't Tell, right, with Smino. He's really the only feature artist on the album, and he delivers a solid rap performance to go along with her very bouncy vocals. Going on top of that, kind of puts you in the mind of an old Morris Day track from the 80s.
Swing dancing type vibe to it.
Also, the song Dance With Me, which even though Dance With Me might sound like before clicking the button and listening to it, you might think, oh, this is going to be a dance track, right? Well, not in this case. This is a much slower ballad. It's very romantic. It has a very eloquent delivery to it, very good soothing sound to it, and her voice just really takes it away. This album, production is solid, but when it comes to her vocals, I feel like that is the biggest highlight of the entire project. There's an example with the song Stop the Bleeding. And when I tell you, I got a little choked up listening to this song. It has so many raw emotions in it. She's telling this story, and you can just hear the crackle in her voice as she's singing it. It was just so impressive. It was one of the most impressive vocal ballads that I've heard all year, and it just really, I had to play it at least 2 or 3 times before I moved on to the next song, because I just really enjoyed all of the emotions that came out of her when singing this song. My only nitpick would be the song Nightcap, which, it's not really a bad song, it was just there. If you haven't put yourself up on this album, the execution of emotion on this album is uncanny. Come to this party for the vocals. Don't come for the production. Don't come for an instant hit. Just come for the vocals and listen carefully to what she's saying and what she's singing about. I give this one a 9.5 out of 10. This one I was really impressed with. Baby Rose, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it. It's working. I love it. and I look forward to hearing more projects from you soon. Up next, we got Dinner Party with Enigmatic Society. This is the second release from the jazz hip hop trinity, Robert Glasper, Terrace Martin, and Kamasi Washington. This album features 9 tracks, clocking in at around 24 minutes. And similar to the 2020 release, this album focuses on, in some pockets, little social injustice topics. But then this album is focusing a little bit more on love, a little bit more on appreciation, a little bit more of respect, recognition. That's what this album represents. And good singing is featured here by an artist by the name of Aaron Ray. He has a very nice vocal delivery on this project. Kind of gives me foreign exchange vibes with some of the songs, like Love Love, Breathe is really good, For Granted, and it's really got some really solid production. I mean, if you got Robert Glasper in the building, you got Terrace Martin, you got Kamasi. I mean, the production is going to be solid. My only nitpick would be some of the tracks on this album can be a little filler. I felt like the album could have been longer, in my opinion. There was one track on here that I really didn't care too much for. It was Insane. I mean, how many times are we going to use the juicy drums? I don't know. I don't know how many times we're going to use that in songs, but I don't know if they were reaching for a radio hit on that particular song. But hey, it is what it is. I'll play it at a DJ set and people will like it. Is it better than their previous album? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it really comes close. But I think it's still an enjoyable project. I think you will enjoy it. I give this one an 8.25 out of 10. Love Love at the end sticks to landing very well with Ninth Wonder's soft drums. And if you notice, Ninth Wonder only contributes to, I think, 1 track on the album, if I'm not mistaken. Feel free to attack me in the comment section if I'm wrong. And I think you'll enjoy it. I really enjoyed this project, and I look forward to hearing more from Dinner Party. This segment of Coffee Vibes Only, I want to introduce a few artists that you might or might not know about, starting with, and for those who don't know, who watch this channel, that watch this page, that follows this page, I am a barber, and I do have clients that are very talented, and one of them goes by the name of Michael Oldham, and he just dropped his 3rd album release, Absent Minded Romance. And this artist is a very, very talented piano player, producer, songwriter, and the ballads on here are very, very good. The art of storytelling can be found throughout this project. It focuses on love, loneliness, revival, survival, relationships. He mentioned something. This is a very, very good album to listen to at night. And I listened to it at night. And man, it took me into a silent film almost. And each song creates a different type of emotion. And I think you'll really enjoy it. Highly recommend this project to anyone who enjoys music, don't mind listening to a record that puts their soul at ease. And that's what this album did for me. So check it out. I give it an excellent out of 10. Excellent out of 10 for me. Mike, keep up the good work, my brother. Up next, we got JPrince, or Just Prince, with his new album, Just Play. And I really appreciate this EP. It's a 5-song EP, clocking in at around 17 minutes. Now, this artist was recommended to me by the NFluent Entertainment crew. And hey, if you haven't followed them, please look down below. The description, all of that, all the links are down there. You can follow them. They're a great page. I'm a Jehovah's Witness, so a lot of our friends are featured on that platform. A lot of good talent, whether it's hip hop, whether it's R&B, acoustic, whatever the case may be, you're gonna find a lot of our talented friends on that platform. So feel free to follow that page and get to know the influencers.
And you guys can be influencers too.
JPrince, Just Play. A couple of covers on here. One most notably Crazy, which was a cover of Gnarls Barkley's hit from I think 2006 if I'm not mistaken. Sings over acoustic guitar, some of these covers, and very smooth, very relaxing voice. Good coffee vibes all over this project. If you need something to sit back and just chill to, this is the one for you. I love Waves, which is a cover of Mr. Prob's hit song Waves, and definitely me personally one of my favorite songs. All right, I ain't singing it as good as JPrince, but hey, you get my drift. One of my biggest highlights from this particular project is the track Nintendo. And me being a game head, I love everything about this track. I love the lyricism. I love the vocal delivery on this one. I love the assistance from SOA, who is one of the members of the NFluent Entertainment family. He dropped a nice verse on there. I like his Adukit add on to his verse. I really like it. And Nintendo's just basically a play on a girl that's basically just, leading him on and not really pursuing any type of relationship with him, just keeping him in the friend zone. So I really like how the metaphor landed with using the video game reference such as Nintendo. Overall, I really enjoyed this project. Excellent out of 10 for me. I don't rate EPs from 1 to 10, but if I had to rate it, I give it an excellent out of 10. I actually have the link to the album down below, so if you want to get access to the link, click that link below and you'll be able to get access to the album. JPrince, can't wait to hear more from you. Looking forward to hearing a full album, hopefully, in the future. Last but not least, another artist that I want to draw attention to, Farragol, and the name of the album is called Eden. Now, this is a producer that I stumbled across in my recommends. If you're looking for something very beautiful to listen to, a beautiful instrumental that will feed your palate, do yourself a favor, listen to this particular project. So many relaxing tracks on here. Check out the song Message. That was the song that captured my attention. This is a beautiful song. If you have a playlist dedicated to songs that are just instrumental, this is a song that you need to add to your playlist. You won't be disappointed. I really appreciate this instrumental project. So if you're into the stuff like that, feel free to add that album to the list. And that will do it for this episode of Coffee and Beats. I'm your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent. Just another reminder, don't forget, our new Coffee and Beats mixtape is out right now. Mocha Slaps Volume 1. Go check it out if you haven't done so already. But with that being said, I'm your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent. When it comes to coffee, when it comes to music, stay grounded for life, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.